Hey guys, it's Sergey from DeFi Gator, and today we're here to talk about Titan Finance. Okay. Before we start, if you don't know too much about us, check out our content on DeFiGator.xyz. We got a ton of resources and info on upcoming projects. Want to remind everybody before we jump in, this video is for entertainment purposes only. It's not financial advice. Do your own research. Always have fun. All right, so we are looking at Titan Finance. It's another auto staking and compounding from the future, as they say. Okay, well, it is very, 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 very similar to every other auto staking and compounding project that's out there, with a few differences. So we're going to go over the pros and cons that I have seen from analyzing the contract and how they've approach things, basically, have they done their homework? That's what our site tries to let you know. So, going right from the start, we're looking at their website, their pre-sales. So they're already trading. Okay, it's their second day. They're just through about 24 hours. So there is time to get in. They haven't dumped. The chart is fairly healthy. So we're going to go through that, but let's start from the beginning. So the pre-sale sold out in 1 hour 1 minute. Good. That's in this environment where there is a very tough. It's a very tough environment to get people to commit large amounts of money like it was 3 months ago. 3 months ago, they probably would have sold out in the same amount of time or less, but probably would have had 3 to 4 times the liquidity. They were able to get, I believe, about 1.1 million in USDT, which was equivalent to about 3,600 BNBs. Okay, so approximately, if you want to compare, SAFUU on the 2nd of March, I believe, had a sale where they sold out in 30 seconds and they raised 8,000 BNBs. Again, very different environment. We're in a bear market. Everybody got burned by a bunch of auto stakers. It's not the same sentiment. People might have less money. We've just been hearing bad news, or, sideways news. So that's why. So let's go through this real quick. So it's offering 125,000% APY. Again, that's not real money. That is on the token. So you have to play the game. You got to play the chart. All right. So they do have a white paper and they got an audit. I can just tell you right now, I went through the audit. They seem to have fixed all their mistakes. So that's all pretty good, but you have the option to go through it yourself. They're telling you, of course, at the end of the year with $1,000 invested, you'll get $1 million. Again, you're not, okay. You're just not going to do that. All right, that's not what's going to happen. You're going to get $1 million worth of tokens, but are those tokens going to be? It's not even going to be worth $1 million. It's just in reality, in 1 year with these kinds of percentages, it's not possible unless the return on whatever stablecoin investment that they do, and we'll talk about that they are actually different in that they actually have their own swap and it's already launched, and they're hoping to have a launch pad, and they're much further along with their launch pad than any other protocol that I've seen. So that is a positive. I just hate these numbers because they're just not true. I mean, you're not going to give that much profit because these launch pads don't make that much that you could give every single person $1 million that invested $1,000 with you. But again, that's for everybody to decide on their own, whether that's realistic or not. Okay, they always have this small print here. Earnings are calculated in a scenario where the SAP sustains the rebase interest for 365 days. Again, they're paying you in their own native token, so it doesn't mean that you're going to get US dollars. So again, same exact thing as SAFUU, Titano, Libero, auto compounding, treasury, afterburner, insurance fund, Titan token. Real quick, I want to talk about the afterburner. So if you remember, SAFUU had a problem with not the afterburner. Theirs is called the fire pit, which is not a burnable address. And what is burnable address? It's one single address that is a 00000 address. Nobody has access to it, but you can send tokens to there. Guess what? These guys do not send their tokens as they say they're burnt. They're not. They even claim in their white paper, they actually tell you that, well, just in case we might see a big investment, we'll pull those tokens back out. Well, you can't say you're burning tokens and then pull them back out. Okay, so they're not even like SAFUU claimed that they lost the keys to their fire pit. These guys are saying we do have the keys, and if we see a good investment opportunity, then we're gonna pull it back out. I would probably not name it the afterburner then, and don't say that you're burning the tokens, because you're not burning the tokens. You're essentially putting it into a second treasury, and it might be fine, but don't say that you're burning the tokens. Burning the tokens means you're going to send it to the zero address, the null address on the blockchain, and that's it. All right, so I don't want to spend too long on the website, but that's the basics. Just make sure that you know that ahead of time. Auto liquidity engine, same thing as SAFUU. It's going to take it's going to inject the liquidity via dumping a little bit of the chart, but that's normal. Again, you can read up on that. Same exact mechanism. That's no difference there. Tokenomics, they got the 14 and 16% buy and sell tax. They got this table here that yes, everybody's terrible. We're great. Everything in our column's green, but again, take it with a grain of salt. I just want to point out one thing. I mean, this is a little bit funny to me that, again, I don't think these guys are amateurs. They definitely have a swap. They have plans, and just because they chose to go with an auto staker doesn't mean that they're not well intentioned or that they're not smart. But I mean, I understand you want videos, but check this out. I mean, you got these shillers that are like, oh, 10x, okay, and then this guy's 100x. All right, that's these guys. Can you trust them? I'm not saying trust me 100%, but when you look at this crap right here and you're like, oh, the next 10x, oh, the next 100x, oh, the next 1000x, how about the next 10,000x, how about the next million x? What does that mean? I mean, it's just BS, absolute BS. Right here, it's not even spelled right. I mean, take the time and at least run your shit through a spell checker. It just irritates me to see that there's amateur content out there, and they're basically telling everybody, hey, what a great investment. You're listening to a guy that can't spell that it's a great investment. Again, I'm not trying to put down the protocol, but I would go back to this guy and say, thank you very much for the video. We really appreciate it. Can you please change the front thumbnail to correctly spell succeed? Because we are a professional team, and we're just pointing that out, and it'll even help you out. No, I mean, that's ridiculous. It's the little things that make a successful protocol, not just slapping a cool picture in the background. So anyway, when launch, it happened yesterday on the 31st of May. 14 and 16% buy and sell fee. It's on BSC. They got their own orbital swap. You got to go to orbital swap. You cannot go to pancake swap. You got to go to orbital swap to buy this. They are going to have tie share, which is going to be basically what they're going to try to do is they're going to invite other protocols to trade on their swap, and anything that's profits off that will be divided upon the people that are going to buy the tie share. Okay, they're right here, and that will be sold at some point in the future here shortly. Okay, you can go to their calendar and see that. One more thing I want to point out. So this guy right here, he is the one that did their KYC. Okay, so I was researching the KYC company because they posted on their white paper that the KYC is called Truth Seekers KYC, and I've never heard of that, so type that in. It only came up in one video, and that's his video. So he's he's getting a decent audience, more than us, 2,500 views for his apparently great content. So that's good, but if you're launching a KYC company, wouldn't you want to have a website and a Twitter and all that accompanying stuff? That's what I don't understand about people. They can't wait to get the token out, or they can't wait to partner up. I mean, yes, this guy's pumping this protocol, and he's the guy that's KYCing the protocol. Okay, so he's part of the team that's being KYC'd essentially. Now, these guys do appear on camera. They do show their face, so it's not even teams that have KYC'd have rugged. It doesn't mean KYC doesn't mean as much. It's all about the homework. You got to look at how much work was put in, how much money was put in ahead of time instead of asking investors. And I just think that these little things, if you correct them, you're going to look so much more professional. So I can see right here 100 days. I mean, he's pumping this the 100 days protocol, my top 3 upcoming launches. 100 days is trading within like 24 hours. They dropped to 30% of their initial even pre-sale price, and they haven't rose above that. They're sitting at about whatever 25, and they were 25% of their public launch price. So it might not be their fault. They went through a tough time in the past 3 weeks, kind of crypto, shit the bed. But still, you just to pump projects because you're getting some coins ahead of time. I look at these guys and don't trust whatever's on the thumbnail. Okay, analyze it. Take some of the things that I'm telling you and maybe think deeper than just, oh, I guess it's going to be 100x. That's not what it was. Okay. These guys had a nice launch, but it wasn't 100x. Okay, you're not going to get 100x, not in this environment. So real quick, let's go through here. You got the white paper essentially here. There's the official white paper, but everything in here I kind of went over on the website. You can see all this stuff right here. I went through the afterburner. You can go through every single one, but they have a nice chart with all the links right here, so you can get the Telegram, Twitter, white paper, all that stuff right here. They got all their contracts listed. I really like that because you can run it through all the online programs for checking for honeypots, checking for any kind of malicious code. So you can do that just by typing in this address right here. Okay. So partners, you can see Truth Seekers KYC. Again, they don't even have a website, but it's that guy's, that YouTuber's supposed KYC company. Not supposed, I mean, I guess it's his KYC company. I'm not talking bad on him. I just, I want people to do their homework and establish a website, and establish a Twitter, and establish an actual, company. Because if you're telling people that you're going to take their information, their passport, whatever it is, how do I know that it's not going to be exploited or something? So Quantic Finance, so they're partnered up with another auto staker. Quantic has been around for about 3 months. They actually launch a BNB miner, which is essentially a non-utility token. I mean, anybody tells you that any of those miners are utility, they're not. It's straight up just a Ponzi. I'm not talking bad on it. It's just a matter of, it's one of those compound for 6 days, collect on the 7th, compound for another 6, collect on the 7th, invite as many absolute people as you can. If people don't come in, then you're kind of going to get screwed fairly quickly. So, it's another game. It's another DeFi game. It's, that's the reality. So, I know people are going to maybe argue with me, but at the end of the day, what's the utility? There is none. You could still make money on it, but there's no utility. It's not like you're investing into something and they're going to invent something and then that's going to make money and then you're going to get some of the profits. Hair Finance, Alto Protocol, Piggy Finance, haven't checked into that. You could just go through their Twitters and double check if any of these guys announced any kind of partnerships. So the deeper you want to go into a protocol, you can. But at the end of the day, if you look at this, they launched, and you could see from the lowest price, they are at an average of 62% to here. They're at 45% to here. And right now, they're about 53% from the lowest pre-sale launch. That's not bad. This is a nice chart. So if they can prove that they have utility, this chart should go up. I don't see anything that's jumping out at me as red flags. One thing to mention here, look at the 24, 6, 1 hour, and 5 minute chart, okay? The volume in 24 hours, again, 24 hours, it hasn't been, it hasn't even been 24 hours since their launch. So they're including these right here, these big candles, okay? But here's what you need to look at. So what's it going to be going forward? So 6 hours, you can see it's 38K. You can see in 1 hour. So if you times that by 24, I mean, they're getting the 240, if you extend that out, 240K of volume. You're getting about 160K of volume in the past 6 hours as an average. So it's doing decent in the current environment. And again, they raised a good amount of money. Twitter, I think we're already running overtime. I don't want to keep on talking, but they're followed by Coffee on a Blockchain, who's an influencer on Twitter. He's got a good amount of followers, so maybe that's why they sold out that quick. Because they only have 1,200 followers, and these I checked through an audit company. They have a very high score, so these are real followers. They didn't buy anybody. You can go to the Discord, their Telegram. I'm not going to go through all that, but most the audit, I told you they didn't have any issues with that. That's it. So they're going to have a lot of announcements. It's something to keep an eye on. If they can prove that they have utility, which again, this orbital swap, this is what it looks like. It's very, very similar to Pancake Swap. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of people imitate each other on DeFi. You got the launch pads, so they're the first one. They're going to promote other forks of themselves on here. I think that's a good idea. They got swap, they got liquidity, so you can swap even other pairs, I believe, on here besides BNB for Titan. So it's a decent project. They're not exactly red flags. It's just I think people rush to market to try to get that initial pre-sale, and they're so excited about it that they miss some of the little details. And I think the little details is what really makes the difference between a great protocol and an above average protocol. So we'll see what this turns out to be. I think they have some promise, and with a chart like this, they're not dumping. So it's going to take them in the next couple of days, as long as they can tell their investors that they're good, and then also start marketing efforts. Then they should shoot up. I don't think it's going to be any kind of 10x, but if they can steadily grow, that's all they're going to need. And then as long as they can invite other people to their swap, that's the key. Because if they don't invite to the swap, then what is the utility? None. Okay. That's pretty much it. Check out our site, DeFiGator.xyz. There you can go to the link to our Discord server, ask us any kind of questions. If you have analysis to do, that you want us to do on any of the projects that are coming up, feel free to ask us. We'll be more than glad to share our thoughts on it. We'll dive deep into it. And that's about it. We'll see you on the next one.